Right, welcome ladies and gents. I have seen Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. We will be talking full spoilers. Can you really spoil this film though? I ask you that. Now I was very excited for this film. You guys may know I did a few videos on it. Not like a ton, but did a few videos on it. I was pleasantly surprised. The director, writer also has plans for a Peter Pan with a essentially like a obese, drug-addicted fairy behind it as well. Loads of stuff, right? Loads and loads of stuff. I like the concept. I like the idea. It's difficult to say that the execution didn't really land because I think that they were going for schlock. Boy, God, did they get that schlock in there, ladies and gents. Boy, howdy, did we get the schlock. But the thing is about this film, I didn't entirely hate it. I didn't entirely hate it. Didn't absolutely love it, but I didn't entirely hate it either. It sits somewhere in the middle. And I guess the best comparison for this film, in terms of what it should have been, and where I think that they did miss the mark, is the likes of Dog Soldiers. Now, whoa! I know loads of people really like Dog Soldiers. I myself too love a bit of Dog Soldiers and Sean Pertwee, right? Epic. But that was well done schlock. It is a bit schlocky, but in the best possible way. This should have been that. It should have been a Winnie the Pooh version of that. But it wasn't. And that's where I think that they really did miss the mark. That's where I think that they missed the mark. I think everything else was probably about what they wanted it to be. But that was where they missed the mark. So what is this story about? Well, Christopher Robin did befriend some weird half-breed mutant creatures. But he goes off to college. And those weird mutant creatures begin to settle into a very harsh winter, where they then decide to eat Eeyore. And from there, they curse Christopher Robin's name and vow never to speak again. And there's an opening sequence all in sort of animation and sort of black and white cartoon sketch drawing. That was beautifully done. Really, really good, actually. Like a horror fairy tale. That was great. And then we flash cut to Christopher Robin. You've seen it in the trailers. Talking about Pooh and his friends. And, oh, they were here. You know, this is 100 Acre Wood, etc. And that's where you go, yeah, I know what I'm getting here. I know what I'm getting. And the masks of Piglet and Pooh, because that's the only ones that we see. We don't see anyone else. Piglet and Pooh, the masks. They do kind of work in an odd way when you're viewing it through the lens of just pure horror schlock. If you're viewing it through the lens of anything else, just don't even bother, right? This film is not a film you want to actively sit down and watch. I sort of grade films in a few directions. You've got like popcorn flicks, you've got beer flicks, right? And then you've got like good films that you actively want to engage in. Popcorn flicks is just a bit of a dumb, fun movie you watch and you don't really care. It's entertaining whilst you're there and then you piss off and it's fine. A beer flick is a movie you watch with your friends drinking beer and you can all have a really good laugh about it. You don't actually have to watch the film that much because you're talking to your mates and drinking beer and getting a bit drunk. This is a beer flick. That's the best way I can describe this. This is a beer flick film. But the deaths were pretty cool. Obviously Winnie the Pooh and Piglet go on murderous rampages. No real reason. Maybe they're eating stuff. Maybe they're not. I don't actually know. It's not really explained. I think that they might be. But Winnie the Pooh is still eating lots of honey. So much so like it's like coming out of his paws and his mouth's just dripping with honey. And if that was done with a bit of CGI and a bit more of a budget, you know what? That would have looked great and a truly horrifying experience. But because it is coming out the masks, it just looks a bit weird. But never mind. But anyway, the deaths are really cool. The deaths are really cool. Driving a BMW over someone's skull, cool. And I say this, you know, from the perspective of just, you know, mindless gore sometimes is a good bit of fun when it's done tongue-in-cheek. I'm not like, yeah, murder. Okay, just calm down. But anyway, BMW over someone's skull. That was cool. Shoving someone down a grinder, like a tree. You know, like a wood chipper. That was cool. and the blood just pouring all over Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh somehow has superpowers. Takes a massive beating from... Apparently the director thinks that there's hillbillies in the UK. And that didn't make any sense. But anyway, there's hillbillies in the UK. And he takes a massive beating. And then he slaps one of them and knocks half of his face off. Alright, cool, I guess. You know, but the deaths are really fun. The deaths are good fun. Schlocky. That's where you go, yeah, they're just having a bit of tongue-in-cheek with this. Now, this movie's already made money, apparently. You know, it's already made money. The hype surrounding it was huge. I obviously added to that hype. I'm not going to lie. Bit misdirected, probably. I think that they should have, I don't know, revealed a little bit more of what the tone was in the trailer. Maybe. But I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it. And it's not a movie I can strongly recommend. You're getting your mates around for a couple beers and having a laugh. You want to put a film on, a bit of a schlock fest. Or even you just want to have a couple beers and watch a film as a bit of a schlock fest. This is kind of a throwback to that. Right? But that's all it is. I don't know where they're going to go with it. I don't know what they're going to do with this. This sort of creepy fairy tale horror world. I don't know whether that is going to become anything. Who knows? If it does become something, put some more bloody money behind it. Or just give it to someone better at directing the schlock. Make it more like Dog Soldiers. If you make it more like Dog Soldiers, and you have that again, I'm not saying Dog Soldiers is complete schlock, right? It's very well directed schlock, and I love Dog Soldiers. But it's that tongue-in-cheek horror that you want, and you should have, also with an air of seriousness, which they should have done here. So there you go. There's my review. Not much else to say. I watched it late last night. Don't begrudge it. Won't watch it again. Take from that what you will. I don't do ratings. But let me know what you think down below. I know loads of people don't like it. I just think it's a bit of harmless schlock. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe, ladies and gents. I will be keen to see where they go from here, because this is obviously proven to be successful for them. But we'll see what happens from here. So, yeah. Give the video a like and a share. I'm Mr. H. Take care.